Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So glad to have you here. Today, I'm sharing my homemade baklava recipe that I've been making and selling for years. Without further ado, let's get right into this delicious recipe. This recipe is for 2 baking pans, but feel free to have the ingredients for just 1 pan. First, in a mixing bowl, add 2 large eggs, 1 cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of yogurt, 1 cup of milk, and a pinch of salt. After adding salt to your liking, mix everything well. Using a whisk, it seemed a little bland to me, so I added a bit more salt. And mix again. About half a teaspoon should be enough. But you know your taste. After mixing well with a whisk, gradually add flour. And start kneading the dough. After adding about 1 cup of flour, I have 2 packets of baking powder. Add 4 tablespoons of vinegar to activate the baking powder. After activating the baking powder, add it to the flour. Gradually add flour and knead the dough. If you like, you can use a spatula to mix until it thickens. Once the dough thickens, you can knead it with your hands. Make sure to add the flour little by little carefully. The amount of flour may vary depending on the brand and quality. I used about 9 cups of flour in total. The dough should be quite soft, but not sticky. That's the goal. The better you knead the dough, the more satisfied you'll be with your baked goods. I'm While I continue kneading my dough, I have a favor to ask from my amazing viewers. Leave a comment, any emoji will do, or if you have any thoughts about my recipe, feel free to share them with me. Also, you can support me by sharing my videos with your friends and family. I kneaded the dough enough. I'm taking the dough to the table. After sprinkling some flour, I shape the dough. After shaping it, I cut it with a knife. If you have a dough scraper, you can portion it more easily. I will make a total of 120 dough balls from this dough. I will also prepare 2 larger dough balls for the top crust. I'm dividing the dough in half. I'm separating the pieces by eyeballing it. First, if you want, you can divide the dough into 6 pieces. Then divide each piece into 10 and set aside 1 for the top crust. Since I don't have a dough scraper, I cut it with a knife like this. It would be much better with a dough scraper. I'm cutting small pieces by eyeballing it. The pieces will be smaller than a walnut. I chop the dough into small pieces. Then I prepare my dough balls. Starting with the larger pieces, I add to the smaller ones, trying to prepare them all equally. After preparing the dough balls, I cover them with plastic wrap. I let them rest for about 2 hours. If you wish, you can prepare the dough the night before and continue from where you left off in the morning. After preparing the dough balls, I let them rest in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. I opened a total of 4 trays of baklava. I prepared the others in this way. I will open the baklava on the floor. I used a mixture of wheat and cornstarch. If you can find it, it is much better if you make it only from wheat. In the first stage, as seen in the video, I gradually enlarge the dough balls like this. Then, with the help of a rolling pin, I open it to about the size of a pastry plate. After enlarging all the doughs like this with my hand, I open it with a rolling pin, slightly smaller than a pastry plate. After enlarging all the doughs a little more, I prepare my doughs in layers with starch. I put about half a tablespoon of starch between each layer. If you use too little starch, the layers will stick together. If you use at least half a tablespoon, the measurement is perfect. I used a total of 3.3 pounds of starch for 4 trays. I am preparing the doughs to be layered with starch. After taking the starch with a spoon, I remove the excess starch with my hand. I open my layered groups to the size of the tray with the help of a rolling pin. The tray size I use is a 15.7-inch tray. In my videos, I try to give you as many tips as possible for the recipes I have made. But still, if you have any questions, if you write in the comments, I will get back to you as soon as possible. At the same time, I will add the list of materials to the description section under the video. You can also check it out there if you wish. You can try my baklava recipe with confidence. You can also find many other baklava recipes on my channel. I don't publish any recipes on my channel that I don't like and haven't tried many times. After opening it in the size of the tray, if you wish, you can cut off the excess parts and hide them in between. I'm layering the groups of 10 like this. I sprinkle very little walnuts on each layer. Then, after laying the third row, I use plenty of walnuts in the middle. I used a total of 1.5 pounds of walnuts for each tray. I continue to open the baklava like this. After it reaches the size of the tray, I place it on the tray. I sprinkle a little walnuts again. As I said, when it comes to the middle part, I use walnuts generously. I layered 3 groups of 10. I sprinkle plenty of walnuts in the middle. I arrange them so that there are no gaps. After sprinkling the walnuts, I layer the others, in groups of 10 in the same way. I sprinkle very little walnuts on each layer again. After laying the other 3 groups of 10, I had set aside one for the lid. But I open it to the size of the tray with the help of a rolling pin. I cut off the remaining parts from the edges with a knife. You can hide it inside if you want. I didn't use it. After preparing the baklava, I move on to the slicing stage. I am preparing a classic baklava slice. You can also cut it into squares if you wish. While cutting the baklava, in the meantime, I put about 7 ounces of butter on my stove. After melting it, I added 1/4 cup of vegetable oil and mixed it. Vegetable oil will make your baklava more crispy. I recommend you use it. You know best. I cut the baklava. I'm moving on to the oiling stage. We do not use the top crust and the sediment underneath. After oiling the baklava, I bake the baklava in a 284 degrees Fahrenheit oven for about 2 hours. The better you bake the baklava, the better, and more delicious it will be. In the meantime, since I prepared the baklava the night before, I will use the syrup part later. If you wish, you can use the syrup cold while the baklava is warm. The baklava is baked. After it cools completely, I prepare the syrup. For the syrup, after adding 5 cups of sugar and 5.5 cups of water, I squeeze a slice of lemon and turn on my stove. I mix the sugar completely. After it starts boiling, it will be enough to boil it for about 25 minutes. After the syrup started boiling, I boiled it for about 25 minutes. Then I set it aside to cool down. It needs to be a little warmer than the yogurt fermentation consistency. Since I poured the syrup from the night before, the shot is not very good. But it was really a perfect baklava. I slowly give the syrup with the help of a ladle. I will not do a texture test, as the baklavas are on order. If you wish, you can check the texture test from the previous baklava recipe. I will definitely leave a link for you in the description section under the video. I have come to the end of a video, a recipe. If you liked my video, please like it. If you are not still subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Goodbye. May Allah be with you. Happy holidays. Ernamli Notler, Earl Subiramluri, Yag Suit, Yogurt Jibai Maltsamelarin Miktarlari Yaklashik American Earl Sularin Sevrildi. Nishusted a pound Sinsinden Buller Tildi. Daris, Santagrat Daris, Farnhata Sevrildi. Tun v Still, Metin, American Ingilisesi Kanashma Dilin Igun Hail Getarildi. Samami Ifadler, Espriler v American Kulturul Iam Lukelaim Sesamlari Kulanildi. Gizlalik Canal Adi Jibai Urzel Issimler Tamimen Sikarildi. Umarim Bu Severi Ishen Yarar. Bashka Bur Severe Itiasan Alersa, Buridam.